Hi everyone, my name is Umar Sheikh and you are watching the YouTube channel of Australia Immigration Matters. In our last video, we described how to submit an expression of interest EOI in Skill Select. If you haven't watched that video, you should watch it to understand the step-by-step process of submitting an EOI. We will also be providing the link of that video in the description of this one. So today we will talk about the state-wise nomination applications. There are four states which require additional applications to be submitted on their portal, in addition to EOI. Number one is Victoria, which requires you to submit ROI. Number two is ACT, which requires you to submit Canberra metrics. Number three is South Australia, which requires you to submit an ROI if you are an eligible candidate for its highly skilled and talented stream. And number four is NT, which requires you to submit a nomination application for Northern Territory. In this video, I will demonstrate how to submit the nomination application of NT. So let's get started. The website is called the territory.com.au. So you have to come to this website, and once you are here, you will be seeing the migrate section, and under the migrate section, you will be seeing an option of how to apply. Once you will click on how to apply, you will land on this page. So here we are now. It's telling you the eligibility criteria again, as all the states first mention the eligibility criteria, that what are the important parameters and requirements which you have to fulfill in order to submit the nomination application. You can read through all these details and the requirements and the documents which are required for this state. And obviously there are certain requirements which are specific for onshore applicants, and then there are certain requirements which are specific for overseas applicants. For example, they ask for financial statement from overseas applicants only, and they have given the minimum value of net assets based on the number of applicants for the overseas applications. So let's start with our application, and for that you have to come to this part. Here it's saying that all applications and supporting documents must be submitted in the NT government online application system. So you can click on online application system and you will land on this page. Okay, so here we are. Let's create an account for migration NT. Now again, it's asking whether you are an applicant or a migration agent. Let's suppose I am applying as an individual applicant. So I will be mentioning my full name. I will be mentioning my email address. I will be creating a password. Let's suppose, and I will be doing this check mark, obviously, and then click on submit. Again, we will be checking our email address, whether we have received an email from migration NT. And once we have received an migration NT, again, it will be giving us a link to start the application. So I have got the email from the migration NT. Here's the link, and now it's saying that our email has been validated. So here we are. We have to log in using the details which we have given for the sign up. I have so you can log in from your from the details which you have provided, the email address and the password. Once you are here, you will be taken you to it will take you to your profile, so you can see your account details or you can log out. So let's start a new application which is migration which is for migration NT, and it's called nomination application. So there are four sections of this application. One is personal details, the second one is English language, the third is living in the NT, and the fourth is Department of Home Affairs information. So let's go one by one through these sections. So the first question is about which visa subclass do you require nomination for. You need to know that currently NT is only offering 491 visa nomination. It's mentioned on their website that you can only apply for 491. Their 190 is currently not open. So you can select the skilled work regional visa subclass 491. The second question is about, are you making this application under the Migration Innovation NT program, which is also called MINT program? You can say no, because it is only applicable for the people who have invested in their MINT program. It's a special program for which you need to invest in order to become an eligible applicant. Let's start from personal details. So I will be selecting Mr. I will be entering my date of birth, same way I have done for the other applications. Country of birth, country of citizenship, which is current, and the passport number. So let's get to the second section, which is address. So are you currently living in the NT? So I will for this, for if you, obviously if you are an onshore applicant and if you are an onshore NT applicant, you will be selecting yes. Otherwise, let's select no for this question. The next question is about, are you currently living anywhere in Australia other than NT? Obviously, then let's suppose this person is currently an overseas applicant. I will be selecting no. Now it's just saying that for overseas applicants, they are only offered as a plus 491 nomination. You may proceed with this application, but please note that your application is likely to be assessed for a surplus 491 nomination. It's just a message. We have already selected visa class 491, as you have seen, but I think their system automatically pops up this message whenever you select that you are an overseas applicant. It's just a reminder for you. So you can just start mentioning your address. Let's suppose this person's street number is 6772. Street name is Ayala Avenue. City or town is this. State or province as per your own personal particulars. 1000 is the postal code. Philippines is the country. Let's suppose this person's address is mobile number is 6754. I will just copy paste it in the home phone and the work phone. If you want, you have to enter your own. You can skip a space wherever you think you don't have a choice. Next question is about the dependents. Now it's asking how many dependents are included in your application, and you can add your spouse and your kids over here. So just for the demonstration purpose, I will add one dependent. Let's suppose this person's spouse. We can add we can add the spouse details here, and obviously the kids details can be entered by clicking on the plus button. You can add as many as you want. So let's suppose the spouse name is Susie Moss. She is female. Her date of birth is, let's suppose, 03/1993, and she's you can either write spouse or you can also write wife. So it's just given you the examples of husband, spouse, and daughter, and you just have to mention the what's the relationship. So let's suppose I am entering as spouse. Are any of your migrating dependents currently living in another state or territory of Australia? So if there are people who are migrating with you and who are already in Australia, you can say yes. Otherwise, it's a no-brainer. You have to select no. And in the next section, it's asking for the English language requirements. Have you undertaken an English language test within the last 3 years? You will say yes. You will select the option of PTE academic just for the demonstration purpose. Obviously, you can select IELTS, TOEFL, OET, or Cambridge C1 advanced test as well. Now it's asking, now it's a very tricky part. Typically in expression of interest, we mention the test reference number, or we mention the specific 9-digit code from our PTE academic test result report. But for here, when you will see there is also another number on your English language proficiency test report, which is called score report code. It has mentioned it's called score report code. It's a 10-digit alphanumeric number, which is typically located at the top of the report under your name. You have to copy paste that number. This is specific for NT, that they ask for that score report code. So let's suppose that number is 677S 5W7 and SAQ. So I've just made up the number. There is a number on the English language test reports on the top left of the page, where it's called score report code. So once you have entered it, just click on next. Okay, so the next question is about living in the NT. So as a Northern Territory skilled nominated SC191 or 491 visa holder, you and your family can live anywhere in the NT. Now it's saying, where do you intend to live in the NT? Let's suppose this is just for the preference purpose, and obviously it's not going to impact much. Let's suppose I can say that I am ready to live in, or I intend to live in Darwin and surroundings. Now it's asking, have you been ever employed in your nominated occupation for at least one out of the last 10 years? I will say yes, I have been employed, and now it has given me a link that to check that as an offshore applicant whether my occupation is included in their skilled occupation list or not. So you can check from this, and I am assuming that this person is a, let's suppose this person is a civil engineer and his occupation is included in their skilled occupation migration occupation list. So I will be selecting yes to this question, as I have a migration and I will also it's also asking that whether you have done with the skills assessment application or not. So let's suppose this person has done the skills assessment and has got the positive skill assessment as a civil engineer from Engineers Australia, and I will be selecting yes. So have you completed an Australian skills assessment? I will say yes. Now it's asking the date of positive skills assessment. I will say that on the 1st of November, let's suppose the skill assessment outcome was received. If there is an expiry date of assessment, or typically skills assessments are valid for 3 years. So I can, on the basis of that, I can consider November 1st of November of 2026 as the expiry of this skills assessment outcome. The name of the assessing authority, let's suppose it's Engineers Australia, and my occupation is, let's suppose, civil engineer, and it's part of their occupation list. The next question is about the friends or relatives in the Northern Territory. I will say that if you have any friends or relatives in the Northern Territory, you can add the details about them here by mentioning their full legal name, their contact number, your relationship with them, and where they are living in Northern Territory. Similarly, if you have made contacts in the Northern Territory, that you have contacted any business or anyone there which are registered over there, then you can mention in this section, because it's asking any contacts you have made with the businesses and the ANT. You can mention the name and position of that person and the organization's name and the contact details over here. And the next question is about the friends and relatives and contacts living in other parts of Australia other than NT. If you have any friends, relatives, and contacts, obviously the relatives, they have qualified the definition of relatives. Relatives must be related by blood or marriage. Only those relatives you have to enter here or in the question number 7. If you have any details and any specific information about these 3 questions, you can add up here and simply click on next. Now here we are in the last section of the Northern Territory nomination application. So it's asking about the Department of Home Affairs information that we have entered in our EOI in the skill select. So the first question is about, have you lodged an EOI? I will say yes. What is your EOI number? Let's suppose this person's EOI number is this. What are the subclasses which I have selected in my EOI? So for the NT, I am assuming that I have already selected subclass 491 only for this specific EOI, which I am using to link with the nomination application of NT. So I will select this option. What is your Department of Home Affairs points test score? So let's suppose this person, and obviously it's saying that include your state nomination points. So let's suppose this person has total of 85 points. Are you claiming points for your partner having competent English? I will say yes. Are you claiming points for your partner having a positive skills assessment in an eligible occupation? I will say yes. Let's suppose that this person's partner has contributed 10 points to the EOI. And what is the subclass of your current or last substantive visa? So let's suppose this person is overseas, then we will select no visa. But if you have been to Australia on any substantive visa, you can select one of them from here. And obviously, if you have selected one of the visa subclasses, you have to mention your current visa expiry date. Otherwise, with no visa, this field will remain blank. The next question is whether you have applied for nomination from any other state or territory. So you have to keep in mind that this is asking for the nomination. If you have submitted EOI in skill select for other states, but you haven't received a final invitation from those states, then you haven't applied for the nomination for those states. It's just if you have just submitted your expression of interest and not even have received a single pre-invite from any other state, then you can say no here. But if you have received a pre-invite from any other state and you have submitted the nomination application to that state, then you can select yes over here. The next question is, have you previously made an application for NT nomination? We are considering that no, this is a fresh applicant for this state. So once it's done, you can click on finish and save. Now it will be doing some work on the background, and it's saying again the same message as for the reminder purpose. And lastly, once we have submitted all the details, you can see that there is a button called submit application. But once we hover over there, it's saying the required documents must all be uploaded first. So you can see over here that it has now given us a tab for documents. Now this is important. So the details you have provided to NT in the nomination application, now it's asking you to submit all the documents, all the documented evidences to claim your to for the points you have claimed, or for the information you have provided. It includes, we can go one by one for all these documents, and I will explain that what is the meaning of these different documents. So it's saying that your application type has been identified as offshore, obviously as per our provided details. The first document it is asking is a clear color copy of the skills assessment. So we will submit our all pages of the skills assessment outcome, which we typically receive through emails. And the next question is about the main applicant's current detailed CV or resume. So we will upload our updated CV or resume for the main applicant. The next question is the next document is about the qualifications, technical certificates, professional year, or academic transcripts. So typically these are also provided to the skills assessment authority. You can upload the same PDF files of qualifications and your related academic transcripts. The next section is about the ID pages from your main applicant's passport and any dependent family member's passport. So you can do two things. You can also merge the PDF files of the bio pages of both the primary and secondary applicants, or you can you can click on multiple files button, and it will show you that you can select multiple files and it will merge all the documents into one automatically. So this is now your choice. The next section is about the financial capacity or net assets to settle in the NT. So this is only for the offshore applicants, as I mentioned earlier at the start of this state's application, that Northern Territory asks for the financial capacity or net assets in the form of bank statements. So let me show you that how they ask for the financial capacity, which is only for offshore applicants. It can be a clear colored copies of bank statements, share certificates, property valuations, and jewelry evaluations. You have to submit such evidences in order to fulfill the minimum value of net assets requirement as mentioned in this table. So you can see that for the individual applicant, and for applicant and spouse, and for one child and for two children, you have to prove that you have this much amount in the form of bank statement, in the form of cash in bank, or in the form of net assets which are in your name. So that you have to attach here to as evidence of financial capacity. The next section is about the evidence of detailed research into living and working in the NT. So this is actually this is actually in your own words. You can search about different jobs in NT related to your occupation, related to your experience. That also you can search about the lifestyle and the living expenses and a few other things in the NT. You can do it through a web research, and you can create a write-up of a single page or two where you will be showing that you have already done your research, that once you are there in NT, in Darwin, or anywhere else, how you will be living and how you will be pursuing for work. So that is how you have to provide a detailed research, evidence of detailed research. You can obviously give the evidence of research using the screenshots from the applications you have made, or you have contacted any businesses, or you have done the research of the job portals. You can use those screenshots as well. So the next section is about a statement documenting the main applicant's commitment to the NT. So you will be producing a statement that you commit to the NT terms and conditions, and you commit to the NT nomination eligibility. Again, these are mentioned over here that there is a commitment to the entity which you need to fulfill. You can read through from this link, the eligibility section. You can read through the commitment to the entity which typically they ask for. So if you fulfill the criteria and you fulfill these commitments, you can just create a document for this. By obviously, again, in your own words, you can do you can produce a write-up and then attach over here in either Word or PDF format. The next part is about a copy of the points calculation from your skill select EOI. This is actually when you complete your EOI and you get a points breakdown PDF file. You can simply attach the same over here, and here you will also you can download your whole expression of interest application from skill select, and you can use the same to attach in this part. Next question is about the verifiable evidence of English language for the applicant. So you will be using your IELTS or PTE exam test report card, and you can upload over here. The next section is about the partner English language test report, and then partner skill assessment. So you will be just attaching all these documents which are typically in PDF format. And the last one is the evidence of post-qualification work experience in nominated occupation, and this is for the primary applicant, where you will be attaching all the employer reference letters, employment contracts, pay slips, bank statements, which you have typically used for your skills assessment and which you already provided to your skills assessing authority. So you can use the same documents over here. So that's so once you have uploaded all these documents by selecting the files and you have completed this part, the submit application button will appear. And once you have submitted your application, it will ask you for the payment. Please be noted that for out of all these four states which we have talked about during our today's video, only the NT is the state which asks for the payment of around 300 Australian dollars in advance for the nomination application to be submitted. Whereas for the Victoria, for the Canberra metrics, and for the South Australia ROI, those applications are free, as those are also used for the nomination process. But NT, they ask for a non-refundable 300 Australian dollars to be paid as part of this application. So once you have clicked on this button, you will be taken to the payment section. So that's how you submit a nomination application to Northern Territory. Please be noted that it's the only state which asks for a nomination application fee prior to invitation stage. So you should keep it in mind before applying for Northern Territory. The application fee is around 300 Australian dollars. I hope you like and find this video useful. I wish you best of luck to get nominations from your desired states. To support us, please subscribe to our channel and like and share our videos. Thank you and keep watching.